Hey, welcome back to another episode of Wrestle Niaaa. Woohoo! And I got a special one for you today because we're gonna talk about the PLE that just transpired, Backlash. And boy, was it a sick PLE. Boy, did it start off on a good note. First things first, let's quickly touch on the Fatal 4-Way with Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, yeah, and Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. I thought Jacob Fatu absolutely killed the competition. They made him look like a Samoan, true-bred Samoan werewolf. I like how they segregated the matches into almost two, the feud between Drew and Damian Priest, and then the feud between LA Knight and Jacob Fatu. That was pretty sick. They also built up a little bit on the Solo Sikoa bloodline, which I thought was quite interesting. And they brought in that new guy. I'm sorry, I have no idea who he is, but I'm sure he is another killer similar to Jacob Fatu just from the way he stands. So I'm really excited to see how that plays out. Such a cool start to the Backlash PLE. After that, we had Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch, the Prodigy versus the Mentor, the Master versus the Padawan. That was a really cool match to see all the pent-up emotions, and Lyra managing to retain after such a back and forth match. I thought that was pretty sick. It's so cool to see the man Becky Lynch back in action, and it'll be cool to see where they take the storyline from here. Obviously, they are not done with each other yet, or so it seems, or at least Becky Lynch is still as unhinged as ever, so it'll be cool to see what happens from there. And then the Intercontinental Champion, my man Dirty Dom Mysterio, paying homage to his mommy, Liv Morgan, who is away filming and doing her finisher Oblivion. That was a sick touch, but Fanta just killing it as always. He's such a top performer, and El Grande Americano headbutting him off the top rope for Dom to steal the win. That was pretty sick. Yeah, all in all, such good matches. And then we had the absolute wild card curveball of a match that was Gunther and Pat McAfee, which was so cool to see. Just something you wouldn't expect and something you don't really know how it's gonna happen, but Pat, being such a Chad and absolute warrior that he was, didn't let Gunther go down without a fight, just kicking him to oblivion. And last but not least, the main event, John Cena versus Randy Orton. That was a spectacle. Their rivalry transcends time, obviously time and space, and the last time I remember watching them fight was the 2009 I Quit match, and that was that. And then fast forward to 2025, it's crazy that they managed to run it back in St. Louis. St. Louis was one of the craziest crowds I've seen in the US, which is really interesting because they say US crowds are usually not as good as EU, but St. Louis really brought it tonight. I felt like that match had everything. It had tables, it had referees coming in, it even had Nick Aldis coming in to make sure the referee was alright, which is crazy. It had ruthless aggression, and it even had that prime product placement, which I saw was really funny after Randy Orton attitude adjustment, John Cena threw the table, and then he had that sip of prime. So it had everything. It even had R-Truth coming out to stop Randy Orton from kicking his childhood hero in the head. Dude, that match had everything, and obviously John Cena and Randy Orton's feud was always gonna be an instant classic, and that's exactly what we got. I love how they paid homage to their old school times, like Randy Orton stomping on each of John Cena's limbs, and that was just absolutely phenomenal. I just thought Backlash, I didn't have anything going into it, wasn't expecting much, seeing how it was a subtle, sort of low-key PLE, but WWE definitely blew that out of the water again. I just can't wait to see what SummerSlam has in store. And after the match, John Cena even attitude adjustment and R-Truth through a table, so you will see it. I'm so excited and so looking forward to this coming week's worth of Raw and SmackDown, and obviously I'll keep you guys posted on that. Thank you so much for watching. Follow for more. I hope you guys enjoy. Yarramin!